joining us for more context on that and to elaborate is West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Steve Kaplan. Supervisor, thank you for being with us. To start off, can you elaborate on some of the specific issues that have the Township Board considering tapping into this performance bond from their contract with GFL Environmental?
Well, good morning, Tyler, to you and your staff and to all of our many residents watching this taping or watching it live. As you know, Tyler, the Township Board 6-0 vote unanimously agreed to seek a forfeiture of the performance bond. Now, performance bond in the waste hauling business generally is designed for where a company stops functioning. So, for example, let's take 2 years ago when GFL was performing very well, and let's say they were bankrupt, they had no money, they didn't have staff, and they just cut us off. So clearly it would take a month for a township to replace a company that is defaulting. The performance bond in that instance would enable the township or a township to hire another company part-time until the matter would be resolved. Here we're using it in an effort to reimburse residents who receive shoddy, abysmal waste hauling service for 4 consecutive weeks, all through June, Tyler.
And this was something that was considered and was deliberated on at the meeting on Monday night. That full meeting broadcast is available on demand on civiccentertv.com if you're at home wanting to watch this, or if you're listening and want to get more context on this later on. And something that did come up was ultimately what would be the outcome the township is seeking from tapping into this performance bond. Is it reimbursing customers for shoddy performances, frankly, over the last several weeks of that contract, or what would ultimately be the outcome your board is seeking?
Well, you raise an interesting issue. Let's assume, for sake of discussion, that everything is picturesque, that we seek to forfeit the bond, we gain $400,000, $500,000. That would be enough money to give every resident, bestow upon every resident $20, a $20 rebate, so to speak. But probably won't be easy because they'll contest it. They'll probably hire a lawyer, we'll litigate in circuit court. But even so, we, the board, feel that we owe it to the public to try to gain reparations for them. And the reason I mentioned $20, Tyler, is average, it's $5 per week for garbage service, and GFL provided no service essentially for all of June. So that would be 4 weeks times 5, $20. Now, the good news is if we prevail, or if there's a settlement, or if there's no challenge by GFL, I have spoken to leadership at Priority Waste, and Priority Waste has agreed that if we have a sum of money, they would apply credit to their customers, formerly GFL customers. But I just want you to know, Tyler, that in the event that Priority Waste is not willing to help us in that regard, this is a monumental undertaking. If we had money, sending envelopes or letters to 20,000 residents. But we're going to do what it takes because our residents are angry with I don't think they're angry with Town Hall. We're doing the best we can. And we have company, as you know, 59 townships in the Tri-County area are in the same position as us. Doesn't make anybody feel better. I mean, if somebody is suffering from cancer, it doesn't make him feel better that his neighbor has cancer. But we are not alone. But we're working as diligently as we can. In fact, we have 3 full-time, high-level employees who, for the past 6 weeks, have spent most of their day answering phone calls from residents. Why are we answering phone calls from residents about garbage issues? That is because neither company, Green for GFL or Priority for Life, has not been answering the phone. They have been answering the phone, or if they do, there's a 1-hour wait. So at least the residents can call here. We have 3 people dedicated to answering the phones and answering their questions.
And that brings up some ongoing issues that have been in the news about Priority Waste as they're taking over these contracts. You mentioned the Tri-County area, but they've taken over contracts, according to the Detroit Free Press, for over 700,000 customers across Oakland, Washtenaw, Livingston, Macomb, Genesee, and Wayne counties since taking over for GFL Environmental on July 1st. Matt Allen from Priority Waste was on our program just days ago to talk about some of the issues they've had, particularly as they install not only all this new technology, but bring in a bunch of new employees. Here's what he had to say about some of those issues in the transition.
about 600 employees that were working for the previous provider came over to us. They're learning our culture on the fly. So this is like repairing a wing on an airplane as you're flying. So they're learning the priority way, and priority is implementing our best practices into these communities as quickly as possible. The real key here is our computer systems and our AI. That actually has to be installed on these trucks that we just bought. So there is a learning curve there for the new employees and for us integrating it into the community.
And so at this time, with those issues being in place, there obviously are some logistical issues, there's some technology issues as they try to integrate older vehicles from a prior owner into their technology and into their infrastructure. So at this time, based on your communications with Priority Waste, when should residents be able to expect service to go from where it's at right now to where they were expecting it to be when Priority Waste took over July 1st?
Excellent question. As you know, Priority took over on July 1. The first week, they did poorly. One reason is that July 4th was not a date where they operated because of 4th of July, and there was confusion as to when the Thursday customers would receive service. Of course, it was that Friday. So the first week, I would give them a D-. The second week, which is July 8th through the 12th, July 8th through the 11th, they improved, so I'd give them a C. This week, July 15th through July 18th, they've done very well. And most of the garbage, the past garbage. So think about this, when a waste hauling truck and employees arrive at the scene, they don't care about the date of the waste hauling. Has it been there 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? There were many areas, especially for Tuesday and Thursday pickups, where there had been no service. So garbage had been resting by the curb. It's just totally unacceptable. So this week, the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have been excellent. In fact, we only received one call yesterday about missed garbage. So back to your specific question, I think by July 29, the 5th week that they'll be in operation, you're going to see excellent service.
And that was kind of within their estimations early on of when you'll start to see their new technologies, their new culture, so to speak, as Matt Allen from their team mentioned to us multiple times in his interview on CivicCenterTV.com, could see that implemented. In the meantime, Steve, got 30 seconds left with you. If residents do have issues, what's the best way for them to go about resolving that? Should they go to Priority specifically or go through the township?
At least for the next 2 weeks, please have the residents call the supervisor's office at 451-4845. As I said, we have 3 people answering the phones. We're more than happy to help them. The Township Board and our staff, we care. We care about our residents. We want our residents to enjoy living in West Bloomfield without having concerns each morning or each week whether their garbage will be picked up.